more seconds. Gia. All right, we all good. Minute in, ain't got to worry about the Google getting us or anything. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's going on with y'all? We got some updates. We got some updates for you. I guess if you want to call them updates, I don't know. We got more stuff to add, I guess you could say.
Man,
or more confusing thoughts to add to the mix.
I was trying to be the rational one. I was trying to be like rational about this. Like, PT, you was like, the nukes, they're going to come out. And I was like, no. It's going to be grid down. It's going to be a couple months. It's just like, I don't know what the hell is going on now at all.
Yeah. I mean, how they going to warn us 24 to 48 hours, and then all of a sudden we hear about all this stuff Russia's going to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever day they're going to do it. It's like they're going to do a mass all at once, just throw all kinds of missiles up into the air and out into the seas or wherever they plan on sending them.
Bro, how about the sub that was okay? So chat fam, look, hey, supposedly, look, let me just say this: there are so many things that are changing right now, right? Like we've all been like, this thing is gonna pop off. We're just waiting to see what's gonna happen. The ground isn't frozen yet, so the tanks aren't coming. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen. No, something has changed. A switch has been flipped. And Russia is absolutely, can I curse? Not bullshitting at all.
Yeah.
This thing has went from, it has went from the exercise that they told us, the exercise that they said, the size and scope of the exercise. It's pretty big. We're like, this is really big. But now it's looking like it's 3 to 4 times bigger than that, y'all. And this is not for Ukraine alone. I'm worried.
Can't be. They don't need that. They don't need to do all that just for Ukraine.
I'm worried.
I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think. And you know about some U.S. submarine over there, and Russia chased them out of the waters or whatever. We were in Russian waters or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
I mentioned it, right? So I was like, bro, did you hear about this one? Supposedly, we had a submarine that was like chilling, I guess, kind of close or in their waters. I don't know. But they trapped and chased this submarine out of their waters. So what happened to all of our stealth technologies? You know what I'm saying? That makes me a little nervous right there. But then I brought it to you, PT, and you was like, yeah, I heard the same thing. And then awkward, you clarified it. You were like, yeah, that's what they said that they got chased out.
Yeah, that was all over the news.
And then Native sent me a link earlier today, and it had some British dude on a TV talking about, British people get the hell up out of Kyiv, get the hell up out of Ukraine. It's one thing when you hear British are removing their people from some off source, but when there's this dude from Britain sitting there telling his people on TV, hey, you need to get the hell out of Ukraine. I mean, it's kind of a little bit, it hits a little bit harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, and Poland opened up their border, saying the U.S. citizens can cross now with just their passport and a proof of the V.
Awkward. If that doesn't, fam, chat. Hey, look, y'all. Who's in here? Julie, what's up? Joe, Kay, Marie, Ronnie. If that does not tell you guys that Donna, I can't mention Donna. If that does not tell you that we are on our own, if where you're at is about to be invaded with the threat of war, death, and you can't cross unless you have, verification of the thing, we are on our own.
That's wild, man. That's wild.
Seriously.
Then Nisi was reading something to me.
Yeah.
Said that there was like a mass movement of helicopters. They were at a Russian base, and it was like 50 of them, like 5 different kinds of helicopters, and they all popped up and went to like fields real close to Ukrainian cities and dropped down. And supposedly, the way it read, it sounded like Germany leaked that information because they were like making aggressive maneuvers and shit. You know, I mean, these are the little things that are. I mean, that ain't no little thing though. 50 helicopters. I mean, what if you was Ukraine and you seen 50 helicopters of the enemy do some crazy shit like that and then land fields away from your cities and shit? You're like, man, what the hell are they doing, man? Is this it? Is this it? Are they provoking somebody to come at them? You know, could that be? Could Russia be poking NATO, Ukraine, somebody?
I think they're all poking each other.
Yes.
Yeah. And anybody that was here yesterday, I mentioned about maybe we left them billions of dollars in weapons over there to the Taliban for a reason, but then Just Josh hit me in the mouth with something today. What's up, Just Josh?
Hey, MJ, I got you. I got you. All right, so Turkey, and I heard this like a week ago, but it was like, yeah, all right, it sounds a little far-fetched. Turkey has, I don't even know if I can say that, you know what I'm saying? This might be a flag word, bro, but the G, those guys, what is my computer doing? Those guys, the tally people, those guys, you know what I'm saying? They're going to Donbass to fight the bear.
Nah, the Russians.
Yeah,
the Russians, the bear. Okay,
yeah,
the bear.
yeah.
I get confused, man. We got so many nicknames for everybody.
But bro,
so Turkey is going to be flying in the Taliban.
Okay.
To beef with Russia.
Hey,
which kind of adds to what I was saying last night and what we was talking about last night. Not to, you know.
Yes, sir. Hey, they are well armed. They are well armed. They look like I bet they are. They got night vision. They got night vision goggles. You know what I'm saying? They got 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6. They got armor.
They got all kinds of American weapons.
MRAPs. They probably got tanks. I saw some of the helicopters that they managed to get off the ground and kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, everything happens for a reason, man. Seriously. They'll get
not Taliban, but ISIS.
I ain't saying it. It's your channel. You said if you want to. I ain't saying it.
Man, it is what it is. If they're gonna ban a channel for saying ISIS or Taliban, then what the hell, man? That's part of the world now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is. They ain't sharing my shit out anyway. The only people that watch my shit are people that watch it all the time anyway. Go look at the numbers. I ain't worried about it.
We straight. Hey, how does that shit go? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that saying,
right,
bro.
But I didn't realize that Turkey and Russia weren't like I didn't realize that they weren't friends, or you can't really say friends, but I didn't know they were against each other. I wouldn't think Turkey would step in and do that.
Turkey's NATO, bro. And hey, there's some badasses too, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's how much I know. See how much I know?
But
I don't even know who's in NATO.
Man, look, but chat fam, look, this thing is turning into something totally different. All right. It really is. I watched a couple videos on YouTube and I try to keep my ear to the street. It was your boy. Can I shout out his channel?
Yeah.
Where I got some information.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 3 people that are really kicking the WWE news. Grid, Desert Off Grid with Adrian, and they dropped the video. And Putin is on some other stuff right now. Like this, seriously, this thing has ballooned. It has blown up to something that's like, 0 to 100 real quick. It is blown. They will be firing ballistic missiles from their spaceport. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's beyond Ukraine.
And they did have their little phone call today. It lasted about an hour. They said it lasted about an hour. And the only thing that really come about it was Biden told him if he attacks, he's going to suffer consequences. Like, okay, like what? Oh, all right. I'm sure Putin really fucking he ain't too fucking worried about that.
Bro, how perfect is this?
Call?
I'm sorry, Awkward. You got it.
That's all right. I was just wondering, what is the purpose of that call? And all they did was reiterate each side of the, their stances. It was a waste of time.
Or we're trying to instigate shit. I mean, maybe we're trying to instigate shit, or Putin's trying to instigate. I don't know where the propaganda, where you can. I'm American, so of course I'm going to stand with America no matter what.
Yeah.
But you just never know who's instigating what. I mean, you hear all this shit, all this propaganda, the same shit we hear, I'm sure they hear, and all that. We don't know who's doing what, doing where, doing. You know what I mean?
Right. Politics. You know what I'm saying? Look, seriously. All right. So, all right. Let's just break this down, man. So
appreciate you, Donna. Thanks,
Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Appreciate you.
So just looking from the outside in, man. Us, the U.S., us. The whole world knows that we're like the biggest and strongest. We got the biggest military, the strongest military. We've invested, 10 times more than any country in military. That's how far ahead we are. But it's like this thing is kind of unfolded in some weird ways, man. Like you said, like the Afghanis being like given the gear and given the gear it was been left in Afghanistan, that type of thing. Germany, it's all about oil for them. They need petroleum, their fuel.
Yeah.
And then it came out today that if this thing does go hot, then Russia may not just be going for like Ukraine. This could be Europe. You know what I'm saying? It could be much bigger than just what we're looking at. So just as far as like the politics as to who will really be on your side, we ain't heard shit. We have not heard shit from Nicaragua, from Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't heard anything from them, but they're all players. NK, China's just chilling. They probably love this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're eating it up. They love it,
bro. That's like, what is that, number 3? I don't know. Is it like us, Russia, and then them? Are they like number 3?
Shit, I don't know who's number 1 at this point, man. When they talking about Russia with these damn. I mean, I know y'all have heard it before, but they're saying Russia got those missiles that could wipe out. One missile could wipe out the whole state of Texas.
Yeah.
One missile, whole state of Texas. What?
Bro,
said, back in the summer or something, they did a some kind of video or something of showing how they wiped out Florida with one missile or some shit.
Damn. Is that SAR, the TSAR, something like that?
I'm not sure, man. I can't keep it straight in my head, but I mean, come on, man. One. I mean, do we got something like that? I haven't heard about us. Do we got something like that?
Hey, man,
anybody know?
I hope so. I know we got the Rod of God. I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
Rod of God.
Dude.
I don't know. Let's throw it out there.
Weather warfare.
Yeah, maybe we got UFOs or something. I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, the TSAR. Man, but that's what I was saying too, man. It's like WW3. And you know what I'm saying? Like when I said it on the last live, it just, we have no idea, bro. We really don't know what these people have been creating. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Yeah. I mean, something that could take out Texas? Yeah. I'm like, well, if something hits in Dallas, then I'll be straight because I'm, pretty far from Dallas. But if something can take out Texas, then I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And then that's nuclear.
It's gonna be quick.
Imagine they hit DC with that, though. If they hit DC with that, that means Virginia's gone, Delaware's gone, Vermont's gone, parts of Ohio, parts of West Virginia, all of Maryland. You can hang out. I'll see y'all in the next life if that shit happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Worm. Hey, you know what the craziest part is? I mean, shit we're talking about?
Holla at me.
They're talking about this shit could go down on Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
They gave us the date. Where did they get the date?
I don't know.
And
Help me
the Ukrainian president, he hasn't even been given the intelligence that the U.S. is going on. He's asking, where's the proof?
Yeah.
You think he would be the number one guy they would be showing the proof to?
Pawn.
Yeah.
Pawn.
But what's most weird to me is that there's this thing that goes out yesterday saying 24 to 48 hours. And then boom, today they're talking about Russia doing all this shit on Wednesday. And it's like, wait, man. Are y'all doing this mass confusion thing again to all of us? Because y'all are about to do this whole global reset NWO shit, man.
Man. Hey, I'm betting on Wednesday, bro. I'm betting on Wednesday.
I
ain't paying none of my bills. They can all kiss my. No, I'm just playing.
Until Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then we'll shoot the bills off if nothing goes down.
Yeah, for real.
Ain't there a map where they're shutting down parts of the Black Sea and stuff because of all this missile test shit that they're doing?
Oh, yeah. All around Crimea.
Yeah.
I heard something about a no-fly zone or something like that. I guess it's for the exercises. Or something
I seen a little map. I think Nisi showed me or something, or I seen it on a video. I can't remember, but it showed like little rectangles of parts of the sea where I guess you ain't supposed to be at or something.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know, man. They supposed to be shooting satellites up in the air. They shooting missiles out of that joker. What the hell?
Bro, look. Basically, what they're telling Potato is, we don't give up. We don't give up. You know what I'm saying? You're playing in a sandbox with people who will just like, yeah, we'll let it go if you really want to do this. And it's like the three big guys on the block, except one of the guy, and no one's seen him.
Nate.
No doubt.
Yeah.
He has a point.
Yeah.
What'd it say?
Bring it back up.
He's talking about Facebook fact checkers.
Oh, okay.
Being shit. Now where to go? I'm too far gone now. There it is.
Hey man.
Yeah, they do got the Black Sea locked down. They also got airspace locked down too, man. I mean, supposedly.
It's like that Ukrainian leader. He just kind of like, he started some crap with Russia, started some crap with the US, and now he's like, what the hell? You weren't supposed to overreact.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, Worm. My homeboy Worm. Hey, yeah. Worm. Hey, check out some of the W3 videos. I keep screwing up his name. Desert Off Grid. Man, he's putting out hellified information about what's going on. And before I was kind of like 70-30. It's 70, it might pop off. 30, it might take a little while before it does pop off. But with the moves that are being made now, Worm, brother, this thing it's a whole different monster. This thing is bigger than Ukraine. Forget Ukraine. This thing is bigger than that.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna be.
I'm worried now. Like I'm really, really worried now. Yeah.
Russia basically said, if you want it, you got it.
Seriously. Yeah.
They ain't backing down. They ain't backing down from shit. Like Russia's like really flexing their muscles and not giving two shits about what nobody else says.
No.
Man, this is chess. This ain't checkers.
Appreciate you, Tiger. Appreciate you.
But
All I know is I'm going to keep doing what I do every day. Stack and prep. Can't control. Yeah, I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, Tiger.
No doubt.
That's it. Seriously. And don't worry about the people that's not going to do that, because we can't help them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
man.
Too late.
Yeah.
I'm counting on Wednesday. Look, I ain't saying. Go ahead.
What's that website, man, so people can go check it out and read this shit, man? It's called
War News 24/7. That's what a lot of the channels that's been up on everything.
Oh yeah.
They've been mentioning that channel. War News 24/7. It gives you updates like every other hour, every hour. But like he said, you have to go to the website and you have to, it'll be like, it's in Greek or some other language. You have
Oh,
to
yeah.
click English and then you can read everything. And this is an outside source. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not our media propaganda machine. It's an outside source, which I'm pretty sure pretty soon they'll probably be on top of that. But yeah. Appreciate you, Nisi.
Who was it? Somebody else might have seen this video. We got people in the house, man. We got a bunch in the chat. Somebody else might have seen this, but somebody was saying on a video that they talked to their major or something in the army, and it was years ago, and he asked, you know, what do we fight? What's the real reason we fight wars? And this major or this general or whatever it was, I'm not sure what it was, but he said resources and population control. That's pretty deep, man. That's pretty deep. You know, if that's really what the big wigs think in the military, even though he said this was years ago when he was in the, I forget who it might have been, Southern Prepper 1. I could be wrong though, so I don't want to name and not know, and I just did, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Man, I don't see the de-escalation. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't see the.
You can send it in an email. You can send it in an email.
And as far as you know, the comments you just made, like, this is for me, and I've said it 1,000 times, and I'm so happy that no matter what happens, I can still say I think it's the exact same thing that I've been saying since day one. This is the great reset. This is the new world system. Mm-hmm. That is what this is the end of the petrodollar. That's what this is, man. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah.
Tear it all down and bring it back up.
1,000%.
You think motherfuckers should be trained? Like, I've been seeing some videos where they're saying Ukrainian citizens are training for combat. You think
guns?
And I know there's a lot of people in America that do that, and I know there's mags out there that do that. I mean, just one off the top of my head is Backwoods. They go out there and do the damn thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, would you give advice that if people aren't doing that they maybe need to start doing that in this country too? Us citizens maybe need to start thinking about really getting into it.
Man.
Like yesterday, you know what I'm saying?
They don't want that though. Like, for whatever reason, like, they don't want us doing that. But thankfully, in our, I know, the forefathers, they saw like a lot of possibilities, things that would come in the future, and luckily we still have that right to bear arms and to, you know what I'm saying, and to freely
rip curl.
That is what is going to save our ass in this situation. If we're probably the most armed population on the planet, and everybody knows that, bro. Ain't nobody. The parachutes coming down. It's not like they're gonna parachute and then Call of Duty. They're just gonna take everybody out, because every corner, every house, damn near every house, every corner, every neighborhood. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
My favorite movie, Red Dawn. If ain't nobody watched Red Dawn, you might want to go watch that.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'll address what you were saying real quick about if it's going to come here, and the fact that we have the biggest standing army.
Yes.
Got to be careful saying that, because you got to remember that countries like China, now Israel's small, but especially China, all of their people are considered military, and it's different than us.
Right.
We're considered a standing populace that could be one. They are one, and they all have to serve, male and female, for a certain part of time, just like Israel and some other countries. But they don't go off really active duty. They're well aware that if there was a threat, they're expected, and they have the supplies to arm every single one of them. Yeah. And they have a population that is bigger than ours.
Gotcha.
So now,
3, 4 fold.
Go ahead.
Their population is 3, 4, 5 times bigger than ours.
Yeah. Right. Now, getting them all over here is going to be the chore. And that's why I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. But we have to pay attention to what's been going on really carefully, because you said earlier about the fact that we've outspent all of them on military. But when you look into that, and I looked into that, and there was a readiness report that was done for the administration, showing the readiness of our forces and how many tanks. It went down into detail, as well as how many tanks, how many missiles, how many this and that we had compared to Russia, China, Iran, and all these other ones.
Spit it out, Rip.
And here's the thing: they smoked us. Yes, it may look like on paper that we spent 100 million, and they only spent a billion, and they spent 160 to 180 billion each. It may look that way, but when you look at actual production of what we have in stockpiles, it's embarrassing. They have it's literally like tens to hundreds of thousands of certain kinds of missiles compared to 1,000 of ours. And our readiness of our troops is, if we were to go into any conflict that is to start, they estimate we need to have like 58 battalions ready or something like that. It was, or I forget what they call it. It's battalions or something like that. Anyway, we really only had 18 that were considered ready to go, and 38 that were considered could be ready in a short period of time, and the rest were not ready at all. So the money hasn't been going, and we need to be aware that it might not have been going where it's supposed to. There's a one thing about, when I look at those figures and I see the lack of production, and we outspent them by 7 times or 5 times or whatever, we can't be as bold to say, well, we have the biggest, baddest army. I do think we have the most advanced, but Russia doesn't fight like that. Russia is the best at fighting a ground war that is mean and dirty, and know how to get that kind of stuff done. And I wouldn't be like, when people say, "Oh, it's going to start Wednesday," who thinks he's going to be stupid enough to start it on a date already known?
Yeah,
why would you schedule it?
Yeah, I hate just all the hoopla. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know how I roll.
But I would expect to see maybe it happen as early for a little bit of surprise. I do believe that something's going to happen, but I would say that it would probably happen tonight or tomorrow night, possibly.
Get him out of here, PC.
Really?
No,
I wanted to add something to Rip Curl's real quick. I watched a thing. It was like a 30-minute video, Rip, and it compared our Air Force with Iran's Air Force. And I'm telling you, Iran was right there with us.
No, man, that's impossible.
Listen to me. Listen to it. They were counting the different kinds of planes, different kinds of this and that, and the different, like, their airplane wasn't quite the same thing as ours, but they had 17 of those, and we had 23 of them. I'm telling you, they weren't that far off. Now, I don't know if that was real.
We got F-35.
The F-35 is a turd. And
I'm just playing.
It didn't surprise me to see it bounce off the deck of that aircraft carrier and end up. Any pilot will tell you they'd rather have one of our F-16s or something like that, or not F-16, but the
F-18 something.
F-18,
F-22
Prowler or something like that. The F-35 is really, it's all hype, and it's slow. It doesn't maneuver well, and honestly, it doesn't carry the kind of payloads that the F-18 can. But the F-18 is getting old now. To be said with that, you'll notice, like you guys were talking, they're training their people with plywood guns and stuff like that. What do you think would happen if we went to our people and told everybody, you've got to come out, any military age person needs to come out and come out and start training with us and grab some plywood guns here in the US? You'd get half of the people going, "Oh, that's just absolutely absurd. Nothing's going to happen." But you don't see that happening over there because it's on their front doorstep. People here become too comfortable and too complacent. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have an invasion here.
TikTok.
But what could very well happen, people need to be ready for, and they need to be prepared for any emergency, really. But they need to prepare for the fact that our borders have been wide open. People have been flooding in and out. We already know that there's ordnance that's missing. They've already put out warnings saying, hey, there's some rumors of T events that could happen. And that being said, we want everybody to be aware of that. So they're telling us that it could happen. And you know what? If I was Putin or somebody like that, I would, if it was me, and I was going to make a surprise thing, it would be something like that. It would be cells that are here that will have an orchestrated attack on our utilities,
Yes.
supply chains, and grid. Maybe even help with an overhead type of thing. But that kind of happened here to get us so worried and so focused on our country, because the second that happens and the power goes down here, people are scared to death because all of these explosions that have happened everywhere, and that attention's on that. I mean, with the power going down, this will turn into a mess within days.
Yeah. Okay.
In the country, and they will have to focus here, and that will get them off over there, and that's when they may do something over there, or they may do it simultaneously. If
that's
it was,
what I'm saying.
That's what
I want to read something to y'all since we got Rip here too. I want to see it if he can. I gotta find it though. I'm sorry, it's right here. I know, but somebody left me
today or tomorrow. God,
I also want to ask Rip something else too, man. But somebody said that I think it was 9. They said if they hit 9 strategic points in the U.S., it could knock out our complete entire grid.
I'm with it.
It's
9 points.
Yeah, there's 8 or 9 critical points that have those great big massive transformers in them, and if those go down, the way I understand it, now that was 2 years ago, we could have some reserves built, but those things, if we don't have replacements for them, they take 18 months to 2 years to build.
Yeah,
most of them are built overseas in Korea, I think it was, and we also need rare earth elements and things from places like Korea and Venezuela and stuff to even build them. So yeah, if those go down and we don't have backups, we've got a problem. Now, they do have a readiness report or a readiness plan that went out and what to do if the grid went down. But that was stolen in that hack that happened in November way back. You remember that thing where that
solar winds
exploded?
Native.
Seemed like it was tied to the voting machines and whatnot. Had nothing to do with that. It had to do with going in and they basically like you see in the movies, they plugged a chip into because there was an NSA station right next door, and they went and plugged in a chip into that in order to hack in, and they got, that's one of the things they got was our plan in the event of the grid, what we would do. So they know how we're going to react to it as of that report.
Are you talking about the solar winds hack?
Yeah, solar winds.
A long time ago, that big one.
Yep. Well, it's going to be small compared to what's coming. Native.
Let me get your opinion on this too, Rip. I don't know what kind of scale to put it on, but I know you'll know how to talk. What do you feel about it going nuclear or nuclear coming here?
You know, I'm kind of torn on that one because I'd like to believe in my heart that there aren't people out there that would basically make it close to unlivable here for everyone, right?
Yeah.
But I will say this, they're moving in. If I look at the equipment, they're moving into place, not necessarily us, but over there in the Ukraine, they're moving in what they even call their nuclear cannon. It's basically just a giant howitzer of sorts. It's self-propelled and it can shoot tactical nuke type war. They're small, but they can lob them 35 kilometers and destroy about 10 to 15 kilometers when they hit.
I saw that.
So that means anything within 35 kilometers of where that thing is sitting, they can reach any of those cities. So I do think that they will and are prepared, because that's what I meant about them being really good at fighting a pound, ground and pound type of war, is because that they made machines like that. They pulled up months ago the old they had an old it's a track driven mortar, and it, like the mortars you throw in the tube go. Well, this one's so big it has to have a tank treads in its own machine to throw this big mortar in, and they have nuclear tipped ones of those. So I can see that they would use things like that, and the U.S. has them too, because even back in the I think it was either World War I or II, one of those. But back then they had made a bazooka launched a tactical nuke. The problem was that when they shot it and it hit,
That's
right,
close.
it couldn't get far enough away so that the people who launched it would also probably be harmed. Let's just
close.
So, but we were ready to use something like that. So we have to plan on what we think people would do worst case and be thankful for the least case, right? So, you know, I can see this. I see the frustration in Putin's face.
Mm-hmm.
We need to look at who he's met with before all these meetings with Macron and all those recently. All those done is make him more and more irritated, right?
So.
And you look at the meetings before that. He's met with the leaders of Iran. He's met with the leaders of China. He's met, you know, all of these communist leaderships he's met with and come up with agreements with them.
Yeah.
I do believe they're just tired of it. And they're saying, look, they feel like they're being invaded, whatever their reason is.
Mm-hmm.
They have a united force that is saying we're done.
Yeah.
And that's, and so I don't know. Hopefully I'm praying every day that I don't think Biden is the guy that's going to make some sort of giant peace agreement.
No.
But I do pray that it happens, that he just decides not to go that route. I think no matter what, we're going to see some sort of in the mud nastiness over there. And depending on how we act, I mean, he will keep his promise, I believe, if we jump in and we launch just one or fire one round.
Oh, that's going to happen.
It's off. Yeah.
We are then a target.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
I'll say that.
What do you say about Americans that are over there now?
Yeah.
Potato.
Right. And there's more than that. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I know of some people that have been over there for a while training people to fly things and stuff. So,
yeah.
So this has been being prepared for a while now. And you'll see that people that have been in the military will say that things like this are planned out long in advance in the hopes that it never has to happen, but they're getting ready for it. But he's moved so many assets in, and we're starting to. My guess would be that's why I say I think he'll jump early, is because he's not going to let us get a foothold over there.
Man,
no.
You know,
hey, y'all heard it from Rip.
I want to say this. I want to say this real quick. The smart guy down below me is Rip Curl Readiness, and Nisi dropped his link. You can drop his link again if you want, and you can check him out. He's got a channel. He's got great information day in, day out, and you can also catch Rip. This is a little secret. You can also catch Rip Curl Readiness as a mod for Marfugal News. So if you ever go and watch Marfugal News, go up in there and say what's up to Rip Curl. He's one of the nicest dudes I know. He'll speak back to you. There might be too many at once, so you might have to say it once or twice. But if he sees you, he'll reply. He's a great person to know. Make sure you check out his channel. No bullshit.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. And you know, I see a lot of people out there, and you know, we have a lot of good channels out there. You're one of them, especially. I love what Native does in the mornings.
Yes.
I just quite get up that early, so I got to watch it on the repeat. So
because you West Coast
on New York, along with the Adrian one you were about New York Prepper. I'm a mod over there. He does a great job at keeping track of all this stuff too. Black Scout Survival's got some really, and the thing about it is I tend to see all of us and good people out there drifting towards channels that, you know, aren't so much. It's not about fear, and it's not about making wild speculations. It's just looking at what's happening and trying to get, what would I do? What do I think I would do? And what should I prepare for?
Exactly.
Because in the end, if nothing happens, well, then that's great. We're just prepared like we always were, right?
Right. Nothing changes.
Man.
Let me ask you real quick, unless you were going to say something awkward. It looked like you might be getting ready to say something.
I wanted to ask Rip's opinion on the grid. Do you think they would hit all 9, or do you think they would do it strategically in certain spots?
It's war.
You know, being as though it's who we're talking about is Putin and stuff like that. You know, in war, I don't see them doing anything halfway. It doesn't serve a
Okay.
purpose to hit, say, 2 or 3 of them and say, okay, have you had enough?
Right.
It's just like, we're
You
going to
don't
hit
think?
all. Now, do you give up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
War.
Very good point.
if
Very
there
good point.
right here on our grid, whether it be cyber, whether it be an airburst or even, you know, like you say, organized attacks on the ground here
Mhm.
by people that are here, I would say that no matter what, it's going to be an all or nothing, because they want to get focused back here while they then take care of business over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
War.
Smart.
Everything is on the table. I keep saying it. This is not let's mess with their pipeline and see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's make some people have a bad day. And then, you know, in a month later, they'll know that we have this ability. This is war, Rip. You know what I mean? This is all or nothing
And
to
he's
the
right.
maximum.
Putin doesn't mess around.
Well, you know, a lot of people out there were saying, you know, well, it'll wait till after the Olympics, right? But all you have to do is go look back at history.
Yeah.
How many? Just type in, you know, how many conflicts were started during an Olympics, right? And you will find that these same people that we're discussing, including ourselves, have all at one time started something during an Olympics. So,
Wow.
You think China's ready? Rip. They
Well,
haven't said anything, or have they?
Right. They've outfitted their entire army with a new rifle designed. Their specs were, we want a new rifle that's designed to defeat the body armor that US wears, because that
Come on.
was one of our strong suits. Our fighters had the best of everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they specific, now whether they did it or not, whether that rifle they made is the ugliest thing you've ever seen, but whether or not it's effective, the way I understand it is pretty effective. But they designed a whole new round around one thing: defeating the body armor of and the enemy is us.
Gotcha.
Also, and then they outfitted everybody with it, with this new rifle. They also redid their own body armor, because that's one thing we've always had going in our advantage, right? Now,
Yeah.
I'm not a military person. I have had lots of family in it, though, of course, and so I'm speaking from their experience.
Yeah.
But we fight a lot of wars where we're decked out and all this stuff, and the other guys are wearing rags, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not quite hardly fair. If this does start, it's going to be a different kind of thing.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know?
MJ, he's like, time for level 5 armor. Absolutely. I'm gonna have on my plates and my soft body armor. It's gonna be like 100 pounds, but I'm gonna have it on. Yeah.
Appreciate the $2. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Hey Rip, I did want to ask you though, man. As far as nuclear goes, because New York NY Prepper, that's how you look him up. I always say New York Prepper, and I forget to say NY Prepper, because that's how you look up his channel, NY Prepper. And Nisi can drop the link if she can find it, which I'm sure she can. We're both subbed up. But he kind of got me, he got a fire under my ass about this nuclear shit, and people need to talk a little bit more about it, because nobody's talking about it, and we're like closer than we've ever been to where something like that could possibly happen. So just, I'm not trying to get you to tell me everything or anything like that, but I know you, for anybody that don't know, Rip Curl Readiness is a prepper. There's some people who prep, and then there's some people who are preppers, and my man is a prepper. Yeah. So what kind of preps do you got in place? Just a few, if you don't mind. What's a couple preps you got in place in case of a nuclear?
Well, and to be quite honest, the fact that you mentioned those videos that he's been doing on nuclear war preparedness, those really are good. He did a lot of homework on that, and I dug pretty deep when I came out with my kits for myself, but he went pretty darn deep. And the good part about that is you know, people assume that it's the end of the world or the end of the planet. Not necessarily. Yeah. He came at it as, hey, don't be afraid. You can survive this. And so for myself, a lot of the things he mentioned, of course, the potassium, the iodine, I forget. Yeah, the iodine pills are good to have. Things like pectin are good to have. Pectin is is what you use to make jelly and stuff like that, but it also binds to heavy metals and stuff, or things in the body like radiation, and helps get it to pass through the system, your system. So that's good to have. And I'm not giving anybody any kind of medical advice here.
Right.
You need to look this stuff up yourself. But for me, I went and got NATO new issue NATO. I got used and new issued NATO suits that are rubber, for
What?
nuclear, biological, and chemical, right?
You have those, Rip?
Yeah, they're not the brand new stuff our military has, but it's the stuff that that's surplus,
Okay.
but it's new. It's not used once already.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I've got a set of those, but they're kind of heavy. But the key is, and I went like all levels, like your good Tyvek made contamination type suits that you can get too, right? Because you might have different levels of things. You might not need a full on heavy suit for the worst of the worst, and that way you can move around. But the key is, and what a lot of people touch on, including like New York Prepper, is it's not so much. I mean, yes, sealing off your house. So I have like duct tape and plastic in home on a shelf ready to go.
Bro, you have suits.
Yeah, I got suits.
You have suits.
And I've got masks. Right?
I'm done.
You got masks. In fact, I even had to get a mask. If anybody's allergic to like rubber or latex things like that, right? You can actually get vinyl hoods that they're made for infants, and they make ones for adults that go over your head, and it has an electric pump on it, and that's where you screw. So it goes down and you cinch it to your belt, and what it does is it draws clean air through the filter, pumps it into the vinyl hood, and then it just exits out the bottom. It's called, positive.
Where do you get this from?
You can get these things, honestly, well, at good supply places on the internet. And I don't remember the name of the place right off the top of my head, but if you just punch it into the internet, you'll find good places, but also places that deal with like brand new places, even Grangers. You can find hazmat suits that you can get at these places because they have to supply them to people who work around stuff like this, right?
There's two moonshots.
You can get these suits like that. And so that's what I did, is I kind of just put together a kit like that. And then I just got on the internet and did a search for a radiation detector. And there's two kinds. You've got your Civil Air Patrol little yellow one that you see everybody get, right? And that's for like big radiation and stuff like that. It's old, works, but what you want too. So I got one of those.
How much we talking, Rip? How much? Can you get some kind of price range a little bit? Give you an idea.
You can find those anywhere from like $30 to $60. Now I don't know about now, but that's kind of when I was looking at them.
Oh,
and then I got a little one it's not just a detector. It actually measures the different kinds of radiations and the different levels. And that was like $120 or something. And
a Geiger counter?
It's a little unit, but you can also get badges too, that if you're exposed, for people who work, because they have all this stuff for people who work in nuclear power plants and stuff like that. So they have what they call an exposure meter. So you can get that either an electronic one, or you can get just a badge. And when you reach a certain exposure, it turns a color and you got to get out. Right.
Right.
But the key to radiation is, and Greg, I got to tell you, if you haven't watched his series, he's got like 6 different videos on it where he really goes into depth. It's about the settling of the radiation, because it's not, people think that, the planet's going to be wiped out forever, but really you're going to have like all of these particles in the air, and then they're eventually going to settle, and it's going to be all over everything.
Yeah.
And then that's what you got to worry about is you want to stay indoors and sealed up away from that and give it time to settle. And he gives a timeline in there where it's like, like a week or something, or 2 weeks or whatever it might be. And it settles. And then from there, it's about like, if you have to go out, you want to try to avoid going out. So being prepped and having food in your home, water, the longer you can stay indoors, the better, especially the closer you are to an impact zone, right?
Right.
Not that close to one. Well, it's about venturing out to go get things. You got to realize that you may get particles on you. So having one of those testers to see if you do. And if you are, you have to have a wash down zone. That's what's important. You have to have a wash area set up. and he goes over all that too, like in your garage or outside, where you go in there first, like even just one of those Costco car
tents,
put up
or a tent, even a tent, one of those bathroom tents or shower tents, or
and washing yourself down, getting all that particle washed off of you into a, and you make sure when you set it up to have like a little ditch dug, and like you could go get a pallet that you stand on, and then you want this ditch dug to go over into a hole. That way it goes into a contained area, and you can then strip off real carefully out of your gear and go back inside. Go inside the house and have pretty good, security that you're not bringing contaminations into the house. I mean, in the end, you can only do the best you can do. But that's kind of what I've done. So, and the masks I have actually newer issue US NATO masks, and then I have the Israeli ones that are fairly new, and they're brand new, but they're newer designed NATO masks. And that's the one a lot of them have. A lot of people have the round circles, not the old fashioned looking round circles, but they still just have the round circles in an event. The US NATO ones have you can put the filter on either side so you can shoot with the mask on, and it has a hose that hooks into a water container, drink without contamination.
Hey,
yeah, we do, Yardbirds. Yeah, we do.
Really?
Yes, you damn right we do.
Hey, hold on. All right, this is a whole new topic. We need to get into this because I don't have none of this shit.
Man, I've got at least 8 tents. I know one tent is a two thing tent.
Okay,
that's going to be my emergency medical setup in case of the bio.
Right.
And I've got two other tents that are set up for bathrooms or like a wash station in case you got to wash off or something, because it might not just be nuclear. There's other things you got to wash off for them too.
Shit, you got Geiger counters?
No, I don't. And I've been looking them up, man. It's just, it's money. And these suits he's talking about, that's a lot of money too. Especially
let me just say this.
Ones.
Well, can I just say this? To the fam. Listen, to the fam. If you know what I'm saying, if you can't track down Geiger counters and NATO suits and masks, just make sure that you are spiritually prepared. Because Rip might keep going, but we may have to exit the scene. All right, Rip, you got it.
Well, doesn't it say in there that there will be people afterwards to basically rebuild?
Yes, absolutely.
So, I'm not sure if I'm going to be one of the lucky ones to get whisked away. And I sure hope that if I am, that my whole family gets to go with me too. But if I want to be here to help, that's the way I look at it. I want to be here to help the people that are here that I can help. You know what I mean?
That's the yes.
Hell yeah. Very pretty living here. I mean, I'd rather be whisked away. Let's just put it that way. But I'm going to prepare either way. And, it's not as hard and as expensive, especially if you do it over time. And you can also look to make things do. Like, I don't have one of the top of the line, exposure suits with the that you jump into, zip it up. It's all orange and looks like a big donut.
Gotcha.
Man.
Yeah, but I got rain suits that no longer got the coating on it anymore. So you got to get new rain suits every once in a while, for fishing. But I use my old rain suits. I keep those for situations like this because you could, some duct tape in a rain suit, you could protect yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And it goes a long way, and it's better than nothing. And like I say, Greg really explains that well. That it's not as dire as people make it out. It is in the blast zone area, but then if that's the case, you're going to be the lucky one because that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
So you just look at the areas where you live and stuff like that too. And even in those, what I find appalling is that Russia and the Ukraine and all these guys have bunkers and things for their citizens.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't think there's any bunkers for us, to be honest with you. Heard of such a thing?
No drills?
Had them in the old days, but those I think have all just kind of been abandoned. I mean,
pretty much.
I even got on the internet to try and find out because I thought maybe I should know if there's a bunker in my area, right? Man, there's nothing.
Let me ask you, Rip. Do you think that our government and our top leaders in military, do you think that they've through the past couple years and fighting in Afghanistan and shit like that, that we might have forgotten what it could end up being with a Russia or a China, and that we haven't been doing the right things to set up for something like this, and that Russia knows it?
You know what? If I had to be honest, I would say yeah, because, you know, like I said, I haven't been over there in it, but I've had plenty of family that are and stuff. And I mean, when you have a war where you're setting up giant cities over there unimpeded by anything, right? You don't think, I mean, that have, you know, supermarkets and entertainment areas and all kinds of things like that, right?
Yeah.
And those are, of course, the far back bases, and they're big ones. But do you think Russia's going to let us set something like that up? No. And then they're already over there digging trenches and stuff like that. They fight a totally different war over there. It is old school. It's not going to be, you know, it's going to be a lot like the World War I and IIs, but just more modern. You know what I mean?
Right.
I agree.
More modern weapons and more internet.
Right, but here's the thing: I think they'll try to do. They know we're technology dependent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our people. You said it. We have the best of everything, right? I mean, we got drones that do stuff now. I think those drones that go in and blow stuff up, you know, just like suicide in, you know, those little toy things they carry. I think those are awesome, and so we have all this kind of stuff like that, and we've gone that route. What happens if they take that away from us?
Yeah, seriously.
Can we fight without all? Because literally today's modern warfare or battlefield, those planes that everybody talks about going around mapping the battlefields and stuff like that, right? The KC-135Rs or whatever they are, right? Or, I don't know if I got that right, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
The electronic battlefield suites that are mapping those out, which have been flying over there constantly lately, mapping out that whole area. So that's another thing that tells us something's getting ready. But they're mapping all that out, preparing, and that goes straight down to the, you know, usually the lieutenant or whoever's in control of this group of guys, right? They have real time connection to that stuff, and that gives us such a huge advantage. I mean, they know where the enemy is usually. They can map it out. They can use that to tell the Apaches where to go. I mean, I'll just give you, for instance, I won't tell you about the newest gen Apache,
okay,
but the one that I think is already out there. It was the one after the longbow, which is the one that has the big pod on the top, right? It's the one right after that actually has a drone that flies with it. And the gunner controls the drone, and that drone can fly up to as much as 25 miles, I think it is, out in front and pre-plan the attack and everything, and send that back to the helicopter, which then programs all the missiles. So basically all they have to do from miles away is fire the weapons and go where to go. It's got all that avionics that plan that, and I'm keeping it real basic for a reason, but that's flown by the gunner. I mean, how incredible is that? But if you take that all away,
yes,
can that Apache do its same duties without the avionics working?
No,
not as well, I don't think. So that's the key. But hey, guys, as you can see, it's getting dark here. I got to jump into the store. I appreciate everything you said, Prepper Tribe. I appreciate Nisi. I appreciate Awkward Texan. She's awesome, by the way. You really watch her stuff. Just Josh, man, your energy keeps me on the positive, because you know me, I like to be positive. And even though I hit some hard realities here, I don't think any of us want war.
No, not at all.
The people that say our country needs a big change and we have to do something about it. I get that. That. Not with you. I'm just saying,
right?
None of us want the just drop dead, let's guns a-blazing, right?
Gotcha.
Got to be smarter than that. And the first thing we need to be able to do, until we can all get along and not be divided and not do things that are divisive to each other and keep people fighting each other, until we can stop that and master coming together, we're ready to fight nothing.
Yeah, seriously.
Do you got one more second for? Time for one more question, Rip?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you think there's sleepers here in the country, and how many and from where?
I do. I do because, of course, they were already here for the 9 and
1-1.
yeah. So that being said, if they were here then, they're still here now. A lot of people, whether they're working for our government or not, I don't know. That's all out there. Those are rabbit holes anybody can follow. But what I will say is this: when our border is wide open,
Yes.
and people just assume, oh, it's all people from Mexico flooding in. That's not what it was. Not this time. There was a good portion of that because people want to be in this country. It is a great place to live. But there was a whole lot of people from places that are not our friends, like Syria or, but you know what I'm saying. From over in those areas in the Middle East, flooding in here. We had ordnance that was gone missing, right?
They are.
And and even if we don't look at it from coming across our border in that way, making plans. China owns so much of our country when it comes to property, when it comes to businesses, right? Because, China's come in, and Russia, even in Oregon, there's these massive Russian farms, and I've got nothing against Russians at all. But when you have that kind of control, and they have a different way of thinking, especially China, those businesses are essentially China operating in our U.S. And if I believe if their government said it's time and told them it's time to do your duty, they would. And you got to remember, some of those businesses or ranches or farms they've bought can have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 employees, right? Well, those people have all served in their military in a lot of cases when they were younger, and they come over here. So, yeah, I think it would be ignorant to say that there aren't cells working here. I think they could be all over. And I think I know our government knows about it because they put it in their briefings and stuff. Now, whether that's propaganda or not, we'll never know. But the reality is we shouldn't be ignorant and say, oh, that'll never happen, because the first time we do that, and you can guarantee this, if they're going to do something again, like they've threatened, right? Like we took out one of their leaders. They said, "Oh, you guys wait," right? Well, do you think they're going to do anything less than bringing down buildings?
Right.
So
I
if they
hear you.
do something very planned, yeah, I think it's possible, and I think that's something we all need to be aware of. So when we're out and about, we don't need to be paranoid. We don't need to be afraid. We just need to be aware, right? You see something weird, tell somebody. And what I mean by something weird is you see guys, lifting, obviously military boxes that don't look military into the back of a truck or something like that. You might want to call your local FBI or something, right?
Yeah. Somebody dropping some backpack somewhere that they ain't supposed to be dropping.
Right. But here's the thing. When you dial the number, watch the guys you're watching, because if one of them answers their cell phone, then the FBI is in.
No doubt.
But you know what I'm saying? I think it would be ignorant for us to say that it's not. And I do think people here need to be ready. I don't think we're ready, because just look at the Ukraine. They know they're not, and they're teaching. That one thing I watched was great. They said the Army guys, or the special forces they had, are training. They said, we're training engineers, teachers, mothers, and there was even a 14-year-old kid there, and they're teaching them how to disassemble the guns and how to work them and operate them. And they're that desperate. And so, I don't think we have experienced that in our shores. And I think that they want us to at this point.
Yeah, I do too. I agree.
And you have reported on it, Prepper Tribe, watching their news and stuff from their areas. They pretty much say that, it's like every day they pound it into their people's minds. We want to bring down the West. The West is evil. And to be honest, I got nothing against any of those people. I love those brothers there too, up until the point they start shooting at me.
Yeah.
Right.
Or people I love and care about, meaning Americans, etc., are good people, right?
Right.
So, I just think we need to watch for that. I think it's a possibility. And we need to be ready and you've been talking about this lately too, we need to be ready and really have information that when something does kick off, we have some sort of network set up where we can talk to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that we're far away. I get the logistics about not living close, but that's not the way to look at it. Think of us as, I don't want to use the word cells because that's just bad, but we're a network. We're groups of people here and there, and that communication could be really important.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
Yep.
So, all right, brothers, I love all of you guys. You guys are all awesome. You all rock. You know that. Now, I can't see chat, but all of you in chat, you guys all know you rock. You know, and just remember, I'm just a person and I'm nothing special. So if I can do it, hey, if a fat guy with health conditions can manage to get a roof done in a week, well, he's not going to make any money at it, but at least he got it done.
Right. No doubt.
So we're all valuable and we can all do something to help others and help ourselves. And
Yes,
so don't
indeed.
say that it's too hard or I can't or what's the point, because we can all do it.
Hey, Rip.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Rip, how crazy is it that we're living through this right now? That we're seeing this
Crazy is
unfold.
what?
What's that?
That one more
blink. Uh-oh. You're
All
blinking
right,
in and
next
out.
time.
You're blinking
Next
in and
time.
out.
Am I there?
Yeah, you're still here.
Yeah, there you go.
So what was that again?
I was just saying. So for me, like, how crazy is it that we're watching this unfold before our eyes in our lifetime, possibly? You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, it kind of, well, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It gives me a bit of anxiety because I have kids, right?
Yes.
Right.
And, you know, I'm not going to lie and say, you know, it doesn't bother me at all. It does. I want a good place for my kids. I want them to have a better life. I never would have expected for them to have to deal with stuff like this. But there again, we did too during the Cold War, and our grandfathers and our great grandfathers did it during World War I's and World War II. So it can happen.
Yeah.
I hate that it's happening right now. But
respect. Yes.
And I honestly, I can't believe it. I don't know how it got here.
Yeah. So
quickly, except for, well, we do know from our inactions and we have a weak leader, and, you know, whether or not we can control these things, whether or not it was stolen or not, all of those things, we can't do anything about it at this point. It's here. Yeah. Hopefully we learned from it in the future so that it doesn't happen again. But I can't believe it. I can't. And, you know, if it is end times, Lord, I hope I've been doing as good as you asked me to do. I mean, I certainly am trying. And, you know, that's all I can do.
That's it.
You know, and we're just praying and all that kind of stuff, you know, and we can only do what we can do and be here for the people we can be here for. So, you know, staying positive, I think helps. You know, you know, Tribe doesn't do a whole lot of fear stuff. You guys don't do a whole lot of fear stuff. It's basically just getting the information out so that we can, because I tell you this, being prepared like I am, I'm less fearful than if this was to happen tomorrow and I never prepared.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
And that, I think, that being said, and I'll let you guys go. Ooh, that guy's got his brights on. Maybe that's cops. Anyway.
That's the Russians.
Look at that.
I hope
not. They found you, Rip.
If the guys get out, take a minute. But you know, the thing about it is I think our biggest danger that we need to think of, if we want to be calm and realistic about this, if something kicks off over there and it is brought here, or the confusion is brought here in any way, it's the people here that didn't prepare that are going to be the ones we have to worry about first.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The panic and the desperation out there is our and having food, water, extra, all those kind of things are going to be our first danger always.
Yes.
Yep.
Even if the enemy's not here, but they've hit something here, that's going to be the first threat.
Yep.
So be ready for that.
Yep.
Prep up, people.
All right, brother. I'm going to keep listening from off stage.
All right,
man.
Thank you,
for
Rip.
coming in, Rip.
Jumping up here.
You bet. Press 1 for Prepper Tribe.
Press 1.
I think everybody knows that. Press 1.
Man, Rip stays on top of it, man. That's a smart dude.
Bro,
I appreciate the blessing he gave us jumping up on here, man, dropping some
Yes.
knowledge on us.
Absolutely.
He
Bro, I
knows a
feel-
lot of the technical details, which I really like. He's very detailed, and he knows. He's looked into a lot of the details
Yeah.
that I overlook.
I don't have none of that shit,
I don't have time to look them up.
bro.
Well,
I thought I was prepped.
Well, he's usually always over there at Marfugal too, and Marfugal stays
Yeah.
up on top of a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. It's like all them, man. They know what's going on all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Bro.
try to watch Marfugal almost every night.
Rubber
Yeah.
suits. Okay, all right. So legit, I got some of that, you know, the respirators, the breathing mat. I got, you know what I'm saying, with the 3M filters. I got some of that. You know what I'm saying? And I actually do have like the bladder for the shower. You know what I mean? So I can set up
Right.
like, you know, something to get the particles off of me. I don't have no damn Geiger counter.
Well,
I don't have no rubber suits, bro.
You have a
Well,
suit?
Well, you can also, I mean, you want something for protection. You might not be able to get the rubber suits, but they do. Like if you go to a hardware store, they got like painter suits and stuff. And It's like thick plastic that goes over top of everything, and you know you could have clothes on, put that thick plastic. That would be
Bro, I'm gonna have
something
to cut
better
up a
than
tarp.
nothing.
Right.
Rain
Cut up a
suit,
tarp with some duct tape.
yeah, trash
Shit.
bags. Trash bags. There's lots of things you can do when you don't have the money to get the big dog shit. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's not even that though. I just thought like seriously, like nuclear, like okay, that exceeds my prepping ability, but apparently not. So
You,
I'm gonna
you
go.
got you got rolls of plastic in your house?
Oh yeah, I got all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna make it work. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like the badges. I might try to track some of those down, like a badge that turns colors. If like, you know what I'm saying, you're in too deep.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that.
You also, man, I think you need a map and a map of your little area. You need to have like a permanent magic marker.
Right.
A can of spray paint. You might have to spray paint a house like do not come near because there's contaminated people inside. You might have to do that to your own house. You might have to do that to your own house just to keep people from wanting to get in.
Yeah.
A can of spray paint is always good to have too. Just saying.
Oh man, yeah, I got all that. I just don't have any rubber suits and stuff.
Yeah. Them things can you start digging into this, man. The money can really go through the roof on some of this stuff.
I was looking, there's $4,000 suits.
Mm-hmm.
There's some $100 Geiger counters on Amazon though.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
here's one for $79.
Okay. Is it made in China?
And probably everything's made in China. There's some here for $500 too. Pick your poison.
Right. Man, bro, did you hear what Rip said?
Talk to me.
Nah, he just
said a lot.
I was like Wednesday.
Right?
You know, look, nobody knows the time or day. Nobody knows. No one knows any of that, right? But I was like, so what do you think? I was like, I'm on Wednesday. And when I say I'm on it, I'm not predicting or that's just my thoughts. He was like, no, I think sooner.
Who do we believe? As Americans, shouldn't we trust even though we don't, shouldn't we trust our own people over trusting what Russia says? So if America's saying 24 to 40, I kind of understand where Rip was going with that. Mm-hmm. If I'm thinking correctly about why he came up with that conclusion, because as an American, I'm gonna believe my own before I believe the enemy. Makes sense. They say 24 to 48. I can understand why Rip says tonight or tomorrow night. I completely understand where he comes from.
Yep, makes sense.
It'd be interesting if they do it during the Super Bowl.
Is that tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening. But their day and night is different from ours. I know people know that, but like when it's during the day here, it's like nighttime there. Am I correct?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a 12-hour difference or an 8-9 hour difference, something like that.
Bork. Hey man, Rip, all night.
Rip said, "Remember, could happen."
Yeah, I'm with you. Nobody knows the day. Nobody knows any of that. We're putting ideas out there. I'm with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
We're not. We're just citizens, man, who try to prep and be prepared for anything and try to stay up on all the information we can possibly get. And yes, we get confused, just like anybody else who tries to decipher what these people put out to us as far as information goes. I mean, we can only dig in and come up with our own thoughts about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
bro, I tell you all the time. Like, I come across like information, and I throw it out there to the fam, and I'm like, "Hey, can y'all tell me if you heard about this? Because I need to know." So seriously, I learn more from the chat, from the fam. You know what I'm saying? And we bring it all in together, and then we come up with like this plan. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Tiger, I appreciate you. Thank you. Do I think it's gonna go? I think it could. That's about as much. That's about as much as I could really say. Is I think it definitely could.
Bro,
I'm not going to say it just can't. No matter what, it just can't. I definitely think there's a possibility there.
hey, like what Rip was saying. He was talking about this one thing that they have. But what I saw was it's kind of like a drone tank deal, something like it shoots mortars and stuff. It's like a miniature tank, but it's like a drone deal. It is equipped to fire nuclear ammunition. You know what I'm saying? And they got tons of them.
Did anybody see today? I didn't click on it. I didn't have time. I just seen it right before I was about to go live, so I didn't get a chance to click on it. But it said for the first time, a Black Hawk helicopter has been flown unmanned. Did anybody see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Remote control Black Hawks.
Bro, this thing is gonna be ugly, man. You know how much easier it is to pull a trigger on a drone or remote control than actually doing it while you're flying it?
Yeah, and the heart you don't have to have. Your heart doesn't get involved in stuff like that. Like it's like a video game. It's boom, 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 boom.
It disconnected. Yeah.
And they've got swarms of drones.
Yeah.
They tell us, they're telling us, I've heard up to 200,000, but let's just say 130,000 Russian troops, right? And they say 3,000 paratroopers, but in all actuality, man, how many soldiers from the U.S. do you think that we have shipped out to go over there in different places to set up for this? How many soldiers do you think we have shipped out of the U.S. so far? Heartland, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Well, don't we already have at least 30,000 already over there all the time? And then
over where?
Shipped out over there in Europe, Germany.
Okay. Yeah.
And they've already shipped out. What they say, 8,000, or did they do
8,000, 8,500,
another 2,000 or 3,000? So yeah, I'd say 40, 50,000 over there at least.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell us the exact number. They're not going to put out there the exact number. So I'm thinking I go at least double what they're telling us.
Right.
So if I can add up from what they're telling us 40,000 troops, I'm thinking 80 at least. So I'm thinking 100 really. We probably got 100,000 troops over there. Some here and there and everywhere. And we probably got another 100,000 on high alert right here, if not more. I guarantee you every one of our bases is, I mean, they have to be. I would say around the world, every country is on high alert right now. I mean, this is the closest we've been to World War III since World War II. I mean,
yeah.
Bro, they say every time after a pan, you know what? This happens. Like, every world war has been, there was a pan deal before it.
Pandemic.
Yeah. Man, you can say all the words. Hey, but you know what else this makes me think about? You remember a couple months ago where China was like, there was this one little deal in the news where supposedly we had like, what was it, 20, 30,000 in Taiwan? And China was like, if you do have those troops there, this is war.
Yeah.
It sounds like, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like one of those deals, man. How many troops do we have over there? Nobody really knows.
Yeah. Wasn't it one of our government that went out and they actually gave a number?
Yeah.
And then they were like, oops, sorry.
Yeah, senator or something.
My bad. I was joking.
Yeah.
U.S. troops have your total 65,000 at 308,000. The Cherokee stays up on this stuff too.
Yeah, man. Hey, Cherokee, they will go after Israel though. It will happen. It will happen. Once, once, you know what I'm saying? Once all this gets sorted out and They're going for
Oh,
Israel.
that's true.
Got you,
Yeah.
Heartland. Got
That's
you.
true, Heartland. A lot of them are just support.
Oh, okay. Jarheads. Yeah, man. But look, since there's been more videos that have been coming out about this, so chat fam, look, y'all just check out the information, do with it what you want. You know what I mean? Throw out the crazy stuff. Just kind of keep in mind that the stuff that seems plausible, but please prepare for. We are in the midst of something that
High frequency.
Reports from HF radio monitors of a significant amount of U.S. military EAMs emergency action messages across multiple frequencies within the last hour.
Where my
Milman World tweet.
Where my ball thing at? My ball thing.
I know that's what I was just thinking, but I don't know if mine will. How which high frequencies? I don't know if I can get those.
Rip just said it could be tonight, could be tomorrow night. I mean,
can you? Oh, all right. This is what I'm good at. Can you imagine that shit, bro? If we get off this live, like legit, get off this live in 3 hours from now when we're chilling, just watching TV, relaxing. We get the emergency broadcast on our televisions, on our cell phones, all that shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy, and it's a possibility.
Yeah,
tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Monday.
They better not. I've got a movie tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Moonfall. Damn it! Don't fuck with my movie.
No, well, that's coming out.
Yeah, it came out like last week or the week before.
You lying?
No, so I'm gonna go see it tomorrow.
Man, I want to see that. I know. No,
I tell you, man.
I ain't paying my bills. They kiss my.
I just wonder. I wonder how many people we've reached that didn't have any idea that none of this was going down and was this serious. Even though some people hear stuff on the news and it goes in one ear out the other. I wonder how many everybody in this community. There's a lot of us that do these shows and try to do the damn thing to get the word out, man. I wonder how many people. I hope we're making a difference. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, we are. Man, we all have purposes. I always kick that shit. We all have purposes, bro. And the reason that we're here right now doing this, it's for a reason. Seriously.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Awkward. Try. Yeah. We're on a live stream on YouTube, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the fam, the chat is like watching us, listening, interacting with us, talking about this. Possibly
sharing information. They're sharing information with us. We're sharing information with them.
Bro, there's no way that this shit could just be like, random. There's no way.
I really want to know what the hell's being said. When Nisi said that about, I'm trying to go back to see exactly what she said again.
Hey, man, look, I'm pressed up.
That's kind of wild right there, man. That means a lot of action going on with the communications.
So high frequency, is that like above like 500 megahertz? You know what I'm saying? Because my Bell thing, it goes to like 500 and that's it. I don't know if that's what they're saying.
Right. And I've got an amateur license. I didn't really look into high frequency because I'm not licensed to transmit on high frequency yet.
Okay.
So I need to do the general test.
I don't know anything about it. But I learned how to.
But I've got the charts around here showing all the different frequencies.
Yeah.
Do you have
This is what I learned on my Bell thing today. It's pretty cool. So like when I'm like on the roof and it's cold and I'm bored, I can just Are you looking for a career in tech but don't know where the radio?
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you download your repeaters on Chirp?
Yes, I got all that. Yeah, they're programmed.
It's amazing. I've listened to people from Alaska, Australia.
It took a while to figure out the menus and how everything works and stuff, but once you do, and this antenna, this whip antenna.
Yeah, that one's like that's better than mine. Where the hell did you get that monster?
Oh, Amazon. And then I have another one. It's I've got another one so that you can take it and actually like put it on like your battle belt or on
Yeah.
your bag, and it's got like the coaxial cable with the antenna. Yeah. I'll probably never use it, but hey, it looks cool.
Oh, you'll use it in an emergency situation.
I'm sure.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh, how'd you do that?
I don't think I'm gonna run 2 hours tonight, man, because we did 2 hours last night.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna run it. I mean, if y'all want to stay on longer, just let me know. But I'm thinking like an hour and a half. We're like 5 minutes away, so
Yeah.
we'll chill another 5-10 minutes, man. You know,
We
get
got
out
the
whatever
information
else,
out.
anybody else in the chat. You know, but if anything pops off, like if any information comes out, you got all three of us. We'll drop a live stream, drop a video. I know.
Yeah.
Y'all, you know, we'll try to get the information out. I'll even, you know, Nisi will send out emails to people that we got emails from, and if anything that's something really serious. But if the shit goes down, man, I you know, I got a couple handles for the radio, but as far as everybody in the chat and anybody that's got a radio and shit, let's say shit goes down and we have no more internet, we have no more power for the next 6 months, year. Just if you're listening on the radio and you hear Prepper Tribe, that's what I'll use as my handle, Prepper Tribe, and holla back at me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if shit goes down, I'm gonna be calling it out like ridiculously because then I won't get in trouble for it. I can't do it now. I can just listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna be calling out.
Track your ass down now if you try to transmit.
Yeah. Shit goes down. I'm gonna be calling. Hey, what's happening? I'm gonna be calling everybody. Yeah. The name of that radio in front of you, the little one you're holding up. Oh, it's a Bale thing. $35. I think the extended whip antenna was like $8, but it's programmed
for mine.
What's that?
I paid $20 for my whip antenna. It doesn't look that like. Yours looks awesome.
This was like it was like 2-3 years ago. But yeah, I like it because it folds. But Bale thing. You can program it to like emergency channels, police, weather.
But there's different kinds. You want to get the Bale thing. Mine's sitting over there, and I can't remember what's the main Bale thing everybody gets.
There's a 5 and an 8 watts.
Yeah, okay. I think mine's 8. I think mine's 8.
Yeah, 8's the stronger one. This one is this is the 8. BF. It's like a BF 8. And this one's 8 watts, so it'll go further. But this is what I found out. No,
it's all right. He's got it.
Gotcha. And then they all come with these earpieces, right?
Yeah. I can't. Mine came with two I paid $60.
Yeah.
But I got the small antenna, the long antenna.
Oh yeah.
And then I got 2 battery packs with it too. But yeah, the Bale thing.
Damn right. Yep. Look, Bale thing in the building.
UV5R.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Hey, you got the extra battery, the extended battery.
5x3.
Yeah. But
comes with a clip. I keep it clipped to my bug out bag. Well, I keep this clip to my EDC bag, which is as big as a bug out bag. But
yeah.
Oh, and I've got a UV S9x3. It's a little red one. I don't have the antenna on it.
Hell yeah. But to get the radio, hey PT, you know how to get that.
Grab my my walkie-talkie ones, the ones me and you have on our bags. They're in the room.
Right.
Just so I can show they can get an idea. I got the $50
fancy ones.
Recharge.
Awkward.
This one is really cool. It came on Amazon with like 2 or 3 batteries, a headset, 2 or 3 antennas.
Damn. You got the cool one.
Crazy.
So for the FM radio, seriously, look, if you got to stay up at night and you're kind of like on patrol or something like that, so you just turn it on. And then you hit this button, this little orange button.
This is an Extra Talk Midland GXT. This is what me and my wife have on both of our bags. So if we gotta go in separate cars or anything, you can look them up. I think it's $50 for both of them. And they got headpieces. They got the charger. You just sit them in the charger. They charge up. Yeah. They got the clip on the back. Just letting y'all know these are really good.
Yeah. So
I think these actually work with these.
They do. Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah. It's videos all over YouTube. You just program them. So like long distances, you can use these as 2 ways too for long distances if you need to. But man. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta have it, man. Gotta have it.
Yeah. I'm going to eat some good food, man, and I'm gonna chill and watch some TV and take a break for a minute.
Yes. That's what I
But
had
there's
to do last night. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just disconnect for a good hour or two.
seriously.
Like,
But
this is too heavy.
yeah, but there's been no developments like as we have been doing this live stream. I'll get into it.
Let me ask y'all this. Have y'all been waking up in the morning and the first thing you do is look for any updates on what's going on over there? That's what I've been doing.
Yep.
First thing I do is check, make sure I still got lights.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
yep. Uh-huh.
Is the phone working?
And
Is
then I
the
check for
phone
news.
working? Telling you, man, it's getting serious.
But yeah, it's 5 a.m. in Russia right now.
Is it? Ah,
Or
okay.
5:30 now. Sunday.
Man, I can't believe that we're keeping up with what time it is in Russia.
Isn't
Just
that
in
sick?
case. Just in case.
Yeah,
They're waking up.
Right, yeah. Seriously.
that's
All
wild.
right.
That's wild.
Yeah, that GXT that's a GMRS radio, isn't it?
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, Midlands. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Those
we
are good
did
radios.
the research on it, but I haven't messed with it, and so I haven't messed with it in months. So I really, but I mean, they're nice, man.
Yeah.
They're the real deal. We went ahead and got the best ones that for the best price type deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you got to be careful. You get some cheap ones, and they barely work amongst each other. I got some old Midlands too. The damn, what are they called? Oh shit! I even got an old Midland that turns into a CB in your car, and I got that. I got that in my van right now. It can be this, or it plug into your car and it'll be a CB, and it unhooks from the battery and everything, and it's like a CB handle, and you can just use it as a CB.
The Jackie Bear. What up, brother? Sorry, man. That's a shout out. It's my peeps.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna call it for the night. If anything pops up, I mean, we'll try to get the information out to you. We'll try to do some lives. We're also gonna try to do some other lives too, just have some fun and stuff like that. But these past 2 nights with all this breaking news coming out of all this shit, we want to make sure that we, tapped into it and got
we
down
just getting
to
started. We just getting started, bro. This thing is just heating up, man. So y'all never know when y'all might see us again. Seriously.
Yeah, might be tomorrow, might be the next day. You're definitely gonna see us soon, though. So hopefully we'll see y'all too. I appreciate all y'all coming to hang out and put the information.
Y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us information too, and all the mods. Thank you so much, Mrs. Plummer. Everybody, Nisi, Rip Curl, Native.
Yeah.
I don't know if Hutch ever came. He might just be watching and chilling. Who knows?
Yeah.
But everybody that actually mods and helps the channel out, man. I appreciate all y'all. Everybody that hangs out with us, everything, man. Hopefully, let's just pray we get through all this, man, without getting wiped out. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Right. But
we'll be okay. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Awkward Texan, just Josh. I appreciate y'all joining me up here.
Rip, thanks for having us.
Rip Curl. Thank you, brother.
Yes,
thank you for getting up on the panel, man. All right, y'all. We might see y'all tomorrow. You never know, but we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Later.